Hi, I'm Colin and welcome to How to Paint Watercolours. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Hello YouTubers and welcome back to my channel, How to Paint Watercolours with me, Colin. I'll give you a quick run round of the colours. We have cadmium yellow light, Naples yellow, red orange, permanent magenta, cobalt blue with some burnt umber in it, just to grey it, permanent magenta, burnt umber, Brent ultramarine. Those should be the main colours we're using. And I've already pre-wet my paper both sides, just stretching it. I'll have an evening sky in this one I think, but I want to leave a light patch. Well, roughly there. Maybe around the edges there. Some cadmium yellow. It just varies. Take some red orange. Let's add a little bit of that. I'll just let it down with a bit of water. Just softening it in slightly, just to make sure it doesn't end up being too strong. Move to my bigger brush. I've got the board flat at the moment, permanent magenta. Make it stronger over here because it's going to be a little darker. Bring it up along the bottom. Remember this will dry lighter, cobalt blue, permanent magenta with some burnt umber in it just to grey it. That looks about right. It's dark along the top, a few streaks in the magenta. Be careful of the yellow. I'm just going to take some burnt umber with a little touch of the cobalt blue. Make it grey, some magenta. I'm going to leave this to dry for a moment or two because it's too wet really to put clouds in and background hills that would just spread everywhere. So I have to wait till that turns a velvet texture. Okay, I've allowed that to dry slightly and I think we'll just bring some clouds in across here. So I'm taking some of this mixture that we made, cobalt blue, permanent magenta, burnt umber. Just lifting a little bit of paint off the underside, just to allow a little bit of variation. Okay, I'm starting to fiddle, we're going to let that dry. Now that your sky's nice and dry, I've just set the board at a steep angle. I want to bring in some rolling hills in the back. I haven't drawn them in because I don't want any pencil lines. I sometimes draw them in just to show you which way I'm going with it. Taking some of our cloud colour once again, a little bit we have left. I'm going to start just below the waterline and just allow this to drift. Don't want it all one solid shape. This is a wet brush and I'm just pulling it down. Then I'm going to let that dry. Now that that's dry, I just want to take some clean water. I want to put a line in here. Taking some of our red orange or cadmium orange if you haven't got it. Dropping a few spots into the bushes. Burnt umber just to make things interesting. I'm going to take a little tiny mop brush and I'm taking some of this sky colour which I just deepened a little bit of French ultramarine. Just going to put a brush in, trying to make sure there's not too much paint on the brush. I'm going to pull it into the wet paint below, don't press too hard. Giving the impression of some trees. bigger brush with some of the same colour on it. Just pull some tree trunks in. You have loads of time to get this in. Create a shoreline by taking some of the same tree colour and just pulling it in. I want it darker at the edges and a bit lighter towards the middle. Just creating spots of interest. Begin to just put in a few tree trunks, and you just know I'm going to turn the board upside down to finish these off. So just let me turn this upside down. Make sure your hand is clean. Feeding a little colour in just to break the ground up. I could put some foliage on these, but I'm not going to. I do want a little mystery in this land, so I'm just going to remove some paint with a stiff brush. Then I'm going to leave that to dry. Now that everything's dry, I've just taken some clean water and I've just re-wet the whole of the water area with the water. That's just a little bit of Naples yellow, and I'm going to add a little bit of cadmium yellow into that. Then I think we'll have the magenta. All horizontal strokes. Take some of the orange and taking our sky colour, cobalt blue with burnt umber and magenta. I'm going to take some of this and add some sky colour to this tree colour we had, and a touch of French ultramarine to that, and a touch more burnt umber. Just start to make things darker. And I do want to add some specks of orange into this because we do have it in the land. Deepen this slightly again. I want to add some of the land back into it, a little bit of reflection of the land. I'm just dropping it into the yellow because it contains the blue. Don't mix it in, don't rub it into the yellow. Deepening it up down here, just to help concentrate your eye in. So corner. Okay, and I'm just going to leave that to dry for a couple of minutes, then I can just pull one or two of these tree reflections out without it spreading too far. So this has to dry for a while, until it looks like velvet again, like the sky did. Okay, we'll give that a try. I'm going to take a really fine rigger brush because I know it's going to spread. I'm just dropping it in really. I think that will be enough for those in the middle. Take a tiny little mop brush, just picking some up on the tips. That's all I want to do to that. Water's nice and dry now, and I'm just going to run a little water on this land area here, not much, and a little on here. We're going to start with a little red orange on the tree down here, and moving into the watercolor we had, which was the French ultramarine, cobalt blue and burnt umber. And I'm just going to put this tree trunk in and allow it just to hit the water to create a fuzzy effect. At the same time, I'm just going to drop some orange in, some of my tree colour again. Creating a little interest. Flicking some blades of grass, bringing it into the light. I don't want them all going in the same way. Just going to create some those like thistly bushes that you can get. Some of the orange colour in, I think, here on this one. Keep it all unified, maybe a little magenta. Just dancing it in. The board is set at a slight angle just to allow this to run. Bring it darker into this corner. Pulling this tree out a little further. So I can bring my branches out a little easier. Remember to give them a little wiggle just to add life to these. And it's always nice to bring some of these branches into the light. It really sets them off. And that little bit of orange in the tree works well. I just want to take a little clean water here, just wet it slightly, take some of your deeper colour, just add a little bit of bank reflection. There's a little bit of the orange just gone in. It might be a little too wet for this, but we'll see. Once that's dry, I'm going to take a craft blade and a ruler and just restate this shoreline, making sure it's straight. I just want to put in one or two water streaks. I think we should have a couple of birds in the sky. I always say a couple, but I actually mean 3. They always say that odd numbers look better. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please click the like button and please consider subscribing. Subscribers are always welcome and it's free. Feel free to leave a comment. It's always nice to hear from YouTube viewers. I do reply. And once again, till next time, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.